to Play to Win, where we play to win. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Cameron. We've been making videos for a year now.
So we decided it would be a good time to do a quick Q&A. We asked our Discord for some questions, and this is what they gave us.
What's your favorite social security number?
We're going to skip on that one. Childhood pet name?
This one is rough.
This is just looking for passwords to skip along.
Who are all the homies on the Play to Win crew?
Oh, this is probably a good one. So Play to Win is me. I edit the videos, and then it's also Cameron. And Play to Win is also Tyler and Nate. This is Nate. Come say hi. You've never really seen Nate. Nate's the other one.
We haven't seen them so much just because we haven't been able to get together.
Yeah, but normally when we need a third or a fourth player, Tyler and Nate do it. They're not really involved in this. They don't do the social media. They're just my friends. They're just our friends that play Magic. Mm-hmm. They're not involved in like the Play to Win business aspect of any of it. But Play to Win is Cameron and I, and then also our friends Tyler and Nate play Magic with us.
Who is your favorite MTG character without a backstory, and why is it Delith?
I don't know who Delith is, but my favorite character is Dormy Raid because Dormy Raid's a badass.
But Dormy Raid has a backstory, though.
Oh, without? I thought.
Yeah, no,
okay.
It's specifically who's your favorite MTG character without a backstory.
You
guys are going to learn really quickly. We are not Vorthoses.
How would I know anything about them if there's no story? I have no idea.
So I guess it is Delith.
Yeah, it's Delith. Where did Cam get those sweet dual proxies?
I'm glad that this was asked because I get this all the time. They're from Moxie Proxy, and the link that I have no longer leads to anywhere. My buddy got them for our cube a long time ago, so you're all fresh out of luck. They're all mine. What's your favorite Magic art?
First one that's coming to mind is the Unhinged Swamp because it's on my wall over there. That's the art for it right there. That's my favorite Magic art. That's the one. You can't really see it. There's a glare, but you get the idea.
How are you guys doing through everything going on in the world this past year?
Doing okay.
Doing all right.
I'm all right. I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
How would you fix white in cEDH?
Is there fixing white in cEDH? Because like I as much as I hate saying this, I might have come to terms with the fact that white's just always going to be the worst color, and something needs to be the worst. And does it like need to be super fixed?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm with you. White is a bad color, and it exists so we know what the good colors do. It's okay for white to be the worst color. It is what it is. Wizards has told us we know that there's a problem, and we don't care. So stop asking for it, because it seems like you're smashing your head against the wall.
Now, I will
White's
say,
supposed to be bad.
I will say that I don't think that the gap between the power levels from white to, red should be as big as it actually is. That being said, I think the way that we fix this is that we power down everything that's being printed now.
Yeah, well, also the issue, we don't have to get into a whole big thing, but white is designed for 1v1. White's really good in 1v1.
That's the other thing,
in standard,
too.
white is like almost always one of the better colors. White just doesn't work in cEDH because the things that white does are like irrelevant to our format. We have 3 white cards basically, and that's it. So
that's true. White still is super good at what it does in draft and in standard.
What
and
it
modern.
does is just like efficient, low-costed bodies that attack really well, which is just not good in complete.
What card printed this past year has the biggest brew potential that hasn't been brewed yet?
I have no idea how to answer a question like this. Tegrid, the mono black one, the new mono black one, that just got released this year. What is your favorite character in the entire multiverse of MTG?
I have no feelings towards characters for who they are as characters. I only have feelings for how they play as cards. That being said, Sun Titan. Favorite episode on the channel to date?
I like the Wings one when we did the 1-2K Q&A when we just did the Hot Wings episode. That was funny. I like doing that. That was my favorite episode.
That still was a great one, yeah. That's the only episode that my family will comment on. It's just like, do you remember that time you guys did the Hot Wings thing?
Favorite play someone has made on the channel?
Definitely when I saved myself from Pact with the Dark Ritual.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty
I think that might have been mine. There's been so many good plays on the channel, though. Favorite meta out of the following. Pre-Hulk unban, post-Oracle, post-Flash ban, Seedborn Muse.deck, current.
I don't know. They're all good. They were all good to me. I liked all of those. I liked all of those time periods. I'm happy that we're out of the Seedborn Muse range. It seems like we are kind of leaving Seedborn Muse town a little bit. We've all kind of figured out that Ad Nauseam is very good, and the Seedborn Muse games are a bitch to edit. Who y'all think is the best player overall, and which deck don't you want to play against? Best player overall, I think Tyler has the best win record.
I was going to hands down say Tyler. Yeah,
last I checked, I think Tyler has the best win record, but that we haven't checked in a while, so I'm not sure. As far as which deck don't we want to play against, I don't care.
I love playing any deck. Hit me with it.
Care.
Yeah. If you could pick one card on the ban list to be unbanned, what would it be?
Griselbrand. What other TCG would you play? I played Pokemon competitively for a second. That was fun. I played during Sable Donk, if anyone played during that time, when there was a deck where the whole point was that it would go first due to its mechanic on Sableye that it would have. It goes first every time, and then it also wins on play every time. And in Pokemon, when I was playing, there's no matches. So when you lose the game, you just lose. You go fill out your slip. So you sit down, and then your opponent says, I go first, I win, and then you go, great, I didn't do anything. I didn't even get to do anything, and then I would lose. That's
This is why we play Magic. I've played a couple things as like they've come up. I played Hearthstone when Secret Paladin was a thing. I played a lot of Grim Patron during that time. I played like a little bit of Eternal like when it was first like in the beta, but I haven't touched it really since then. But I've focused on some other non-card games things. Like I've played a couple of fighting games here and there, some Pokemon stuff too.
Favorite content creator? Do you have a favorite content creator?
It's got to be Saffron Olive. I'm very good about always being able to see the Against the Odds videos, and I don't think there's any other content creator who I know that I'm tuned in for every single week for something to come out like that.
There you go.
What content creators would you like to work with that you haven't yet?
The Command Zone.
That was literally what I was going to say, the Command Zone.
Anyone that we haven't worked with yet. If you're a content creator and we haven't worked with you, we want to work with you.
We'll play with literally anybody.
Why am I the way that I am? I don't know what to tell you.
How many tats you got?
I don't know. I was gonna count this. I was gonna do a bit where we could count. Do you want to count? We could count my tattoos.
We could do a count. Yeah.
I think it's around 50, but that's it's getting late. I don't know if we care. We'll touch on that at the end. I think around 50. I'm not really sure.
We'll do a separate maybe Patreon video.
That's a Patreon video. Yes,
it's
that's
gonna
a good
involve
Patreon.
like your shirt off.
I'm gonna be naked. It's gonna be OnlyFans. We'll do a whole thing.
It's a $20 Patreon.
Yeah. How many decks do you guys have built in paper and together at any given time?
I currently, how many do I have? So I always just make sure I have one cEDH deck, and if I ever want to play something else, I'll just take that apart and put something else together. Currently, my casual decks are Maelstrom Wanderer, which is always going to be a thing. Atraxa Planeswalker Wraths. What else am I running? I have Rinnin Siri, that's my uber casual cat and dog deck. Oh, I'm building, you don't even know this, I'm building a Marchesa kind of pillow fort deck right now too.
Nice.
So, but that is a constant change out. Constantly rotating that last slot there.
Mine also always changes. I normally have 1 to 2 cEDH decks. Right now I just have one. I have Green Grixis together, and I also have a couple casual decks together. I have Edgar Vampires, which I'll always have together. I have Nyambi, which is like a blue-white tempo deck. I also have Asai, Nethroi, Neheb, the Eternal.
Why does camera and audio equipment seem to fail each time I play with y'all?
That's from Hire. I don't know. I'm so sorry, Hire. It really does. It feels like every time Hire comes on, it's just like he sounds like a robot, or it's something terrible goes on. I don't know.
But Hire, if it makes you feel any better.
It happens with everyone.
Why does Tyler always have a response?
I don't know. Tyler's very good at lying. Do you have a favorite EDH memory or moment? This channel is full of memories for me. Just the fact that we've been able to create this channel is an incredible CD. That's an incredible.
It's really
EDH
just
memory.
like a big photo book. Yeah.
Was there ever a video you wanted to put on your channel but couldn't because of technical issues or other problems?
So there was a game, the second video that we ever did, there was a game that Tyler reanimated an alms collector that he couldn't have reanimated because it would have been exiled at the time accidentally. And that game came down to life totals going to 0. It was an incredible game. It was our best 4-color deck, our first best 4-color deck video.
We've also had a couple audio issues where we had to re-record stuff, but nothing that big a deal.
What's your favorite deck to play?
My favorite deck that I've ever played was Hogak in Modern. That was the coolest deck I've ever played. You just turn 2, have 16 power on the reg. That was the best. What is the biggest difference, if any, between playing a video recording and playing just with friends?
Honestly, the biggest difference is that we have to announce everything. We already have the demeanor of how we are at a regular table, but we're so used to each other. We know all the cards. We just put a card on the table, and then everyone reacts to it from there.
I think when we're playing together, we don't say the names of every single card, but when and also the microphones are in our way. These are all while we're playing, these are here. So normally in a game, you can reach over, but when you're with the microphones, it's hold on.
It's a whole
Okay, go ahead.
yeah.
It's a whole more process.
What would you recommend to anyone trying to get their start in content creation?
Just do it. If you're not sure if you want to do it or not, just do it, and then that'll tell you if you should do it again. And if you like the process, then do it one more time. And then if you like that process, then do it one more time. But if you're not sure, just do it. If you became King of Commander for a day, what would you change about the format? Extort. I would make it so that Extort could only be playing Orzhov decks. It drives me nuts. It drives me insane.
You know what?
If the mana symbol is on the card, it should only be allowed in decks that can have both of those mana symbols. I don't care if it's reminder text. It's there. It's what it is.
It's
what
the
it
same
does.
thing.
Reminder text is just a way for you to say it's something that it's not when it is.
What's one of the biggest lessons you learned about MTG since becoming a content creator?
I had no idea how many mistakes that I made or were even possible until I overanalyzed every single one of them. But I think it's made me a better player. What do you wish you could change about cEDH? Either the community, the format itself, or your own personal approach to the game?
Man, I just wish it was easier so that I could win more games. It's like regarding deck archetype theory, there is a resilience on 3 deck categories: adaptive, proactive, and reactive. There was a thought that a 9x9 grid could be used that has those 3 elements on the y-axis with slow, medium, and fast on the x-axis. This opens up a whole new criterion for deck. Do you think that this is a good direction, as it could more succinctly categorize decks, or should we just stick with the current system?
So basically what Hire is saying here is that you can be fast and adaptive or slow and adaptive, fast and proactive or slow and proactive, fast and reactive or slow and proactive. So like a fast proactive deck would be like an Ad Nauseam deck, whereas a fast reactive deck would be like a Stacks deck. A deck that's looking to play Grafdigger's Cage on turn 1 is a fast, but what it's doing is reactive deck. You could talk about the format like that. For me, it makes more sense to think of the format as aggro mid-range control, just because that's how I've always thought of the rock, paper, scissors of Magic. There's the fast deck, there's the slow deck, and then there's the deck that's trying to do a little bit of both. As far as your question, Hire, you could talk about it that way. It would just add another layer. And
this is a podcast.
Yeah,
this is a really cool podcast topic.
A whole other way of defining archetype. After the pandemic, would you guys be willing to work with more East Coast content creators to do in-person cEDH events, tournaments? Seems like the East Coast has a decent amount of creators. I think that's true, and yes, absolutely. I'm the first one to sign up for in-person events once it's safe that we can do that. I miss it so much, and I would love to do something like a play-to-win event or something where we host it. That would be... Right, so now the questions start getting a little memey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip ahead.
I'm skipping over Subway Sandwich. What's your favorite anime?
Dragon Ball Z. I just recently started watching Dragon Ball Super again because I found that it's on Hulu. I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, and I'm super excited to be watching Dragon Ball Super again. That's the one I'm going with.
Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Oh my god, hands for feet is like
obviously
the easiest
right?
one.
Wait, Gorilla's already figured out a way to make that work.
I would be the perfect human if I
Why
had
would
hands
you
for my feet.
ever go for the option that does not give you an opposable
Can you imagine
thumb?
if someone's like, no, yeah, feet for hands, and you could run so fast though if you had feet for hands.
Could you though?
On four
Because
legs?
it would hurt your back though. That's
No.
the thing. You're bent over.
You
all
would
the
just
time.
cartwheel you could just cartwheel forever. This is a question about Magic. Thoughts and opinions on banning the reserved list from Commander?
No.
No. Although in like my own perfect world, yeah, Time Twister wouldn't be allowed because why is just one of the Power 9 allowed?
But really, this can be solved by just not having a reserve list, and then that's really what this is about. Is that I don't want to have to buy expensive cards that are on the reserve list. Why would you want to power down your decks just because something's expensive? Just make a proxy of it.
What Teletubby do you most resonate with?
I think that all of them have characteristics that I can identify with.
Is there a lore with Teletubbies? Is there Telelore? Is there Tubby lore? Do we know anything about them, where they came from?
There's
Are
so much.
Are they from a planet or
There's
a meadow?
fan fiction, I'm sure. We can probably find a ton of fan fiction.
That might be weird.
Who is the person that says time for Telly bye-bye? That's another mystery. Who are some of your favorite musicians at the moment?
I recently found this dude, I guess it's like 2 people, Buried Alive, I think it's called, but it's like buried like a berry. It's the most crazy shit I've ever heard.
Like
on
B-E-R-R-Y?
B-E-R-R-I-E-D.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's, he's like the craziest guitar. I've never heard anything come out of this dude's guitar that sounds quite like this. Buried Alive. But really, like, my favorites of all time are going to be, what was the question again? Favorite musicians at the moment. At the moment, I'm just going to say Gulch. Gulch is sick, and then also Buried Alive.
Mine never change. It's always my 3 favorite bands: the 1975, Churches, and Death Cab for Cutie.
Do you like quick and simple win cons or convoluted ones that have a lot of points of interaction?
If you can interact with my win conditions, something went wrong.
Yeah, as quick, as easy, as simple as possible, as efficient as we can get it, that's where I want to be.
Are there any cEDH decks ye individually hate?
No.
No.
Are there any MTG playing celebrities that you would love to play with?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I was just gonna say
I would
Joseph
love
Gordon-Levitt.
to have Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Yeah,
on the show.
that would be crazy.
Over literally anybody else. Every time I watch Play to Win on the TV, my wife comments that Cam looks like Norwegian pop musician Vidar Villa. Is this international Cam? It probably is. I've never heard of this person before, but
It's
they
Cam's
look
cousin.
just like me.
Thanks so much for supporting us for the past year. It's been a wild ride. Thanks for all the questions. We'll see you next year. Or, I mean, we'll see you in a couple
See you
days.
next year.
I-
We'll see you. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you on Twitter in a couple minutes. All right, was that something? Do you think that was content?
That might have been content.